If you've ever wondered how to construct the perfect upper session, then this video is for you. I'm going to go through 3 points that I think are key to designing your own upper session by going through mine. You can just copy mine if you'd like, but also do take some inspiration from the points so that you can actually learn and get the right session for you. The first of those points is the exercise selection. We need to hit pretty much every muscle group throughout your upper body to make sure we've got a really balanced upper session. So we've got abs, we've got delts, we've got chest, back, biceps and triceps all to hit. So we need to make sure we've got something in place to hit each and every one of them. So very, very simply, in terms of the abs, like I say, I've got a crunch. I do it on a machine. You can do it on a cable ab crunch or a lying or hanging leg raise. Any way you want to hit your abs, as long as you're getting some spinal flexion and extension, i.e. you're bending it at your spine, you're in a good spot. Then I kick it off with delts. I do a machine lateral raise, but again, you could do a dumbbell lateral raise, you could do a cable lateral raise. They're all going to work. There is better and worse, but they're all going to work. So choose what your favorite is. What do you feel the best? What can you progress the best? And then go from there. I personally go for the machine because it allows a bit of load in that length and range as well, so happy days. From a chest perspective, like I say, we've got 2 presses. The reason is there's no point doing 2 flat presses. We want to do a vertical press and a horizontal press. So for me, I've got an incline, which is kind of vertical, you could say, an incline machine press, and then for my flat option, I've got a flat cable press. This is just so that you're hitting all of the fibers very well throughout your pec, rather than just blasting out the flat and doing unnecessary volume. We're spreading it out nicely. For that incline, you might want to go for a shoulder press if you feel like your front delt needs a little bit more work rather than bringing up the upper chest. But at the end of the day, everyone wants a massive chest, so you might as well do an incline press instead and maybe do a high incline or a shoulder press later on in the week. Then the flat press is obviously to tick off the rest of that pec. Same sort of story with the back work. We've got 2 pulling movements, a vertical one and a horizontal one. The vertical one I did was pull-ups. I have been working on these a little bit. I want to get stronger at them, hence the pull-ups. You could do a pull down, you could do a machine pull down, anything that's vertically pulling down, right? Then from a horizontal movement, I unfortunately didn't film this one, but I did a non-chest supported cable row. Other options could be a T-bar row if you need a chest support, or a chest supported machine row, or if you've not got any kit, just go for a chest supported dumbbell row or a non-chest supported dumbbell row. All of them really work, but have a vertical, have a horizontal in there. Then for the curl, again, please choose which one you like. I went for an incline dumbbell curl because I really like it and I'm trying to get stronger at that. But go for anything like a behind the back cable curl or even a regular dumbbell curl absolutely does the job. Then finally for triceps, I did a bit of a funky movement here. I guess you could call it a lying tricep extension, which is really, really good. I liked it. But if you don't want to set this up, just go for a regular tricep extension. So that's point 1. That's exercise selection. Make sure you've got an exercise for abs, delts, chest, back, 2 for them, 1 for biceps, 1 for triceps. The next one then is working out how much volume you want to place in between each exercise. Now, this is kind of confusing. I can't really give you a direct recommendation, but I can give you a starting point. In general, when we're looking at doing a session, if you're training your chest, your delts, your arms, whatever it is, you don't really want to be going above 8 sets. If you go above 8 sets in that one session, that 9th and 10th set are probably not going to be very good. Now, if you did 8 sets for all of these exercises, that would be an absolutely ginormous session. So obviously we're not going to start there. My recommendations for each of the exercises that has got 1 exercise in there, so like 1 exercise for abs, 1 exercise for delts, 1 exercise for biceps and triceps, start off with 3 sets. If you start off with 3, that's going to give you a good starting point and you might want to train them once more throughout the week. For the chest and back work, because we have 2 presses and we've got 2 pulls, start off with 2. So you've got 3 sets of abs, 3 sets of delts, 4 sets of chest and back, then 3 sets of triceps and biceps. That will be a really good starting point. Then across the timeline that you run this session, just gradually increase it. Where are you recovering? Where can you progress? And then gradually increase it from there. If you're progressing really well, consider adding a little bit more. So good progression equals add a little bit more volume. Bad progression equals potentially reducing volume. So that's exercise selection. That is volume. The third point is exercise order. Now, you can see for me, I put it abs, delts, chest, back, biceps, triceps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This does not have to be this way. And in fact, I would recommend you adjusting that order to make sure you've got it right for you. In general, throughout a session, the first exercise needs to be the one that you really want to prioritize the most, or at least the first few need to be the ones that you're trying to prioritize. So if you've got a priority of, for example, for me, I really want to bring up my abs, I therefore put abs in the number 1 slot, okay? If you have, if your back needs bringing up more than your chest, rather than doing chest and back, consider instead just swapping these round. So we do back, then chest instead of chest and back. That works perfectly fine. Play around with it, see where your individual needs are, and then you can decide what the order is. The only rule I would set is if you were trying to put like triceps at the start, that would be pretty horrendous because that is going to massively impact how well pressing movements go. That is probably the only rule. The same thing with biceps, probably don't put that right at the start. But the ab work, the delt work, the chest and back work can all be moved around depending on what feels best for you. I think this here is a very good starting point, but move it around depending on what you feel like you need. So use the priority principle. If you want to bring up a certain muscle group, put it closer to the start so you've got your energy and you've got the big effort that you need to actually progress that movement. So that's the tube done. Hopefully this has been very helpful. Be sure to check out some other videos. YouTube's gonna be very clever and recommend one here. And if you want to follow the gram, click below, you'll see a link. And yeah, hopefully this has helped. See you in the next one. Ciao.